Hello friends, I'm Mina Tilakraj, your inner power optimizer and storyteller guide of India. And I'm going to speak to you about my journey from being a very bad student in school to becoming the inner power optimizer and somebody who lives life and who would like to inspire everybody else to live it out. Friends, I am the eldest of five, and in spite of being a girl, my birth was celebrated. I was very popular amongst my family and extended family. Everybody loved me. I was very curious. I wanted to learn things and know things. I used to ask so many questions, and I was very girly also. I wanted to learn all the girl things, gudiya sajana and gudiya ki shadi karna, and I wanted to learn to cook, and I was in a hurry to learn to cook, to learn to look after the house, and all that. And so everybody said, Meena ko dekho, sab kuch karti hai. And I used to like that. And the more they said it, the more I would want to do it, kind of a thing. But I was a bad student because my first day of school was extremely traumatic, and after that, I hated school. Now, as I was growing up, I also was a healer because I was very emotional, I was very sensitive, and I could not bear to see people in pain, which is there even now. It upsets me. I could not bear to see dirty, and I could not bear to see anyone in pain or misery or something. I would steal things from the house and go and gift it off to people and things like that. So this carried on, and I grew up, and I was an average student. I had to discontinue studies because we were poor cousins, and we lived on hand-me-downs kind of a thing. And my cousin had taken me away to, after she got married, she had a child, and her husband was transferred in another country, in Italy, so she took me along with her to be the maid in the house, to help her in the house. She didn't say maid, but then to help her in the house. And my years with them, though she told me very nice things, she said, पढ़ाई करके क्या करना, शादी तो करनी है, मैं भी तो प्रोफेसर हूँ, मैंने पढ़ा था, तो and after that now I've got married and I cannot be a professor, I have to give up my job, so you will not be able to work or something, so why do you want to study, come on, you should see the world. So she told me all nice things, so I went. But when I went, life was totally different. I mean, I spent the most traumatic years over there because I was constantly working at not being chided, at not being ridiculed, at not being shouted at. I was scared. I used to hate the mornings and love the nights, and I still remember her husband saying, "Isko to na shakal hai na akal hai." Those words still ring in my ears sometimes, Though he sings a different tune today. Anyway, so they were there for 5 years, but after 3 years, then I decided I wanted to come back. I came back. And when I came back, my mother was sick. I had to look after her, this, that. And plus, my family was going through very serious financial problems, so I had to start working. And I applied for an air hostess's job, I got that. Of course, that also became a very big issue in the family because everybody said, लड़कियाँ hostess हमारे खानदान में कोई नहीं बनी, ये कोई काम है लड़कियों के लिए, कितने दिन बाहर रहेंगी and all, So it was not considered to be a good job for girls from respectable families, but then I said, इनको बोलने दो, मैंने तो करना है. So anyway, and then proposals came for me, and when proposals came to me, the one which was finally selected I kind of turned them away. I frightened them away by saying कि आपको dowry क्यों चाहिए. I always used to think dowry is to be given as a penalty for a girl who has something lacking about her. तो I said आपको क्या चाहिए, क्यों चाहिए. तो she said नहीं वो तो देना होता है. तो I said इसका मतलब आप you're greedy. And all hell broke loose. You can imagine what must have happened. And she stomped away and she said, I'll make sure that there's no proposal coming to your family, for your other girls also. You have 3 daughters, you watch out. My mother was very angry. She got angry with me and she started saying things to me and all that. And I was wondering, why the hell is my mother getting angry with me and why not with her? Because she was wrong, according to me. I was protecting my family. And I was against this dowry thing. Because by now I had formed my own perceptions and my own thinking about things. So, anyway, the obvious happened. There were no more proposals because the word had traveled around. And whilst working, we meet a lot of people. So, I met this person and I fell in love with him. And my mother had said, now you'll have to look out for your own groom. I said, mil jayega, koi baat nahi. And she said, but make sure he is not a Christian and he is not a Muslim. And the obvious happened. He was a Muslim. Again, hell broke loose. So, my mother, when she came to know, she said, I must tell you something. I said, what? So she told me something which kind of stunned me. She said, like you, even when I was growing up, I wanted to do a lot of things. But I was told that girls, when they are growing up, they should not fly too high. They have to burn their wings because they have to become good mothers, good wives and good housewives, and nothing more than that. I was basically a very talkative person. I still am, I guess. But I became silent after hearing this. For 2 days I couldn't speak. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't sleep. And on the 3rd day, I sat next to my grandmother. My grandmother was very fond of me. She was very fond of my mother also. And my grandmother, my father, and my aunt, my father's sister, they always said, Mina can do no wrong. If she's done anything, if something is wrong, she's not done it. It happened. She did not do anything wrong. I guess what they meant was that she didn't intend wrong, but it happened. So that's what they said. Meena ne kiya nahi galat, wo ho gaya. So I told my grandmother to call my mother, and she came. And I said, Ma, I shall not burn my wings. I shall not burn my wings. And from today onwards, you shall grow new wings. I shall make them grow. Tell me all that you ever wanted to do. My mother was a little, like dazed. She didn't know. She didn't know how her mother-in-law will respond to this. But my grandmother was great. She said, "Ye hui na baat. Jao ji lo." And she told my mother also, "Ja, kar le jo karna hai." And from that day onwards, I started helping my mother do all that she ever wanted to do. And that was my first case of inner power optimizer. She wanted to learn English. I put her in English classes. She wanted to learn playing the harmonium. She went there. I did first aid classes, a first aid course. She said, even I want to do. I said, okay, come along. Both of us will do together. Civil defense course. She said, even I want to do. I said, okay, let's do both together. People used to think we are two sisters, you know. So we did that. And when I got married, my son used to ask me questions, so I used to look for answers for him. And one thing I realized then, I said, yeah, regular education is not enough. They need something more. Something more. And that's when I decided, and something happened coincidentally. Much at the same time, on the one hand, I was thinking that there has to be some extra, some different education which prepares children, which prepares people to face life. The way I've gone through so much and I've faced life. And something happened. I was invited for a last day session by very well known now, Apuresh Acharya of MILT, my Guards Institute of Leadership Training, to attend the last day, because that's when they call people and they ask them to join the next course. So over there I was called and I was asked to speak about what I saw, and after I spoke, and then I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I said, "Ye kaam acha hai. This is what I want to do." So I told him, I said, "Can I be your assistant to learn to do this, what you're doing?" So he said something which triggered off, which is I think that is what made me what I am. He said, "Are you crazy? Why should I take on a competitor?" And when he said that, I knew I could do it. And after I went home, I started thinking for a few days. I thought over it, and in the next 6 months, I prepared 2 workshops, effective communication and personality plus. And personality plus was all about confidence also. So I did those, and I became a pioneer in 1983 in alternative education. So that's my journey, friends. I hope that inspires you. And let me tell you, in my workshops also, I always say I don't teach, I reach out to inspire. So I hope I'm able to inspire you all. Thank you.